Hi everyone, welcome to my video channel, a collection of videos mostly gardening, both square foot and in the hoop house, my chickens of course, some cooking demonstrations, some travel videos, and a few how-to videos. If you like this sort of thing, please feel free to subscribe, leave comments and questions. I always try to reply to them. Thank you. Hi everyone. According to which part of the YouTube homepage you believe, this is either my 200th or my 203rd video. I'm really not sure which is which. I think it's the 200th, but I found another place that said this might be my 203rd. I'm too lazy to go count. Anyway, whichever one this is, a month ago today, I planted tiny seedlings here in the hoop house, and you must be getting tired of me saying how amazed I am at how fast everything is growing, but I am truly amazed by it. Just not used to having a warm place to grow things, I guess. Garden vegetables and things here always grow so much slower than this, but these were the tiniest little seedlings 1 month ago today. I'll just give you a little rundown here and show you what's happening with some of them. These are cabbage. I don't know how many different kinds. I've got 6 plants here, but they're out of a package of a blend of all-season cabbage seeds. And if you look down in the center, just beginning to hit up. So I don't know what might happen here as the weather keeps getting colder. We haven't had any frost yet, but I don't think frost is far away. But the hoop house should protect for hopefully quite a while afterwards. Maybe I'll get some small cabbage heads. And next to them were 6 broccoli plants. Again, it's a blend of different kinds of all-season broccoli. Of course, there's no heads showing there yet at all, but amazed at how well the leaves are developing, how big the plants have gotten. One very interesting thing happened here in the background. That tiny thing there is one of the broccoli plants. I don't know what happened to the original plant. It kept dying off, the leaves kept falling off it, whatever. Thought I'd lost it, then all of a sudden it's come up from the root, a little cluster of leaves. So I don't know what might happen there. Next door to this is the celery, and some of the celery plants are starting to look a bit more like celery. That's a bit bigger, that one there. Others are still quite small, but they were tiny, tiny little things when I planted them a month ago, just barely leaves, and that was all. And in the background here, we have kale, a variety called winter boar I've never grown before. I'm curious to see what it would be like if it was actually growing outside in the garden here. It's very brittle. As you can see, leaves missing from the bottom. I've been eating it now for a week or so. It's delicious, but you barely touch one of the leaves and it snaps right off. So with what wind we have here, I think unless it toughens up if it was outside, it would be very brittle and break off. But I like it because it's all tender. There isn't any tough rib leaf like you find in some varieties of kale. You can chop the whole thing and cook it. It's delicious. And next to this, these are Brussels sprouts. Plants are developing nicely. Maybe we'll get sprouts, maybe we won't. And that's one of my grapevines in there. The particular one's called Somerset. It's a red seedless. I had 2 different kinds of radish, so I put a circle of radish a few days ago, a week or so ago, around each of my 2 grapevines. I can't remember now which I put which around, but I have white icicle and French breakfast, so I should get some radishes out of it. Behind is a little patch of kohlrabi, and they are starting to sort of thicken up at the base. I've never grown them before, but I think there's a thickening beginning down where all the leaves are there. And next to that is spinach. Some of the lower leaves are yellowing. I guess I should start picking some, take it in, because there aren't enough plants there. I could pick the whole thing and eat it all in one meal, but I was just curious as to whether I could grow it without it bolting. I always have such a problem with spinach bolting, and so far here in the hoop house in the fall, it's doing quite well. And that's the second grapevine. That one's called Beta. It's a variety similar to Concord, only hardier than a Concord. And once again, there's some of the radish growing around it. And next to that is the Swiss chard, a variety called rhubarb, because of the red stems. I've had some of that, and that's very good as well. And here I have 4 Italian parsley plants, flat leaf parsley. And they're starting to get a bit bigger. Parsley is quite cold hardy, so I'm thinking that will last quite a while. And then there are all of my lettuces. I've been eating lettuce now for at least 2 weeks, maybe longer. Several different kinds of lettuce, and they're all doing very well. Behind the lettuce, over here in this corner, are the beets. Growing 2 varieties of beets. On the left is Guard's Mark, the one that has that sort of red and white circular bullseye center when you cut it open. And the other one I think is just called Early Harvest or something like that. But the Early Harvest ones are certainly, the leaves anyway, are more robust. I didn't have any luck with the Guard's Mark out in the regular garden either, but I don't have much luck with beets, so I'm pleased to see the progress so far. And here again are the Chinese cabbages. I've eaten several of those, both of the varieties. They're both very good. And I think the last thing in this bed to show you are these 4 cauliflower plants, a variety called Confetti, which is one of those purple, fancy looking ones. Nice foliage, but of course nothing there yet as far as a cauliflower head. The plant cam is still taking its video. Actually, I reset it back to 0 because it was looking at green tomatoes for so long. I thought the time lapse would be pretty boring. So when these 2 or 3 tomatoes here started to blush a little bit of color, I reset it. They're pretty orange now. I would say in the next 3 or 4 days they'll be red enough that I will be able to get my tripod back, unless I find someplace else that I want to set the plant cam up at. Starting to get more ripe red black pearl, which is a bit of a oxymoron, isn't it? They're called black pearl and they're red when they ripen. But hot chili peppers, and I do mean hot. I had one on a pizza, small pizza, just finely sliced one of these tiny things on top of it. And I managed to eat it, but it is really hot. I've put some in with a batch of fermented pickles, and hopefully it'll add some heat to the pickles. I hope I haven't made a serious mistake by bringing my fig trees in the greenhouse this late in the year. What I thought was going to be buds for next year's foliage, have all opened up and are forming new leaves. So I hope the thing has time to grow some buds for next year before it gets too cold in here and it loses its leaves. But whatever, the damage is done if it is damaged, so we'll just have to wait and find out, I guess. There have been several blooms on this very tall capsicum, the one that's somewhere between 4 and 5 feet tall, one that I don't know what the variety is. Having trouble getting them to pollinate. Right now it looks like I might have one that pollinated, but I keep doing my thing where I tweak the blossoms. Maybe I have to use a little artist brush or something and move pollen around, but they don't seem to be setting fruit, even though they've got blossoms everywhere on them, so time will tell. If you watched one of my previous videos, I'm trying to root some pieces of that capsicum that I just showed you. I haven't taken them out of the little greenhouse that they're in this Ziploc bag. They're looking green so far. They haven't died off anyway, so that's a good sign, I guess, but I'm going to wait a little longer before I take them out. I don't think they've had time to develop any roots yet. Well, thank you for watching, and stay tuned if you like this sort of thing. Please feel free to subscribe, comment, ask questions, whatever. I guess I've mentioned that I'm going to be starting a seed exchange, a free seed exchange, no money, just open pollinated seeds being exchanged. I'm almost ready to launch that. My website, the blog for it is up, but it's not completed yet. And that will be one of my next videos coming up very soon now. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, I hope you will take advantage of it. I'd like to have donations from anybody who saves open pollinated seed if you're interested, but there isn't any charge for the seeds that I'm offering. It's just going to be one of those things where you send a self-addressed stamped envelope along with the list of seeds that you've selected from the website, and I will return them to you. Anyway, stay tuned, and that will be my next video. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.